All right, it is 6:42. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Now, let's see if we can get it right in the month of April. All right. So, good evening, commissioners. There we go. And good evening to the body. There it is. All right. All right. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. Today is our April 2026 general body meeting. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to call the roll with Commissioner Rice, Secretary Rice.
Henson. Here. Cooper. Chris. Here. Edwards. Here. Francisco.
Present. All right, thank you, Secretary Rice. Now, commissioners, you all have received the minutes from the March general body meeting, the March planning and zoning, the April community engagement committee. Did I say that right? I feel like I just studied all that. Yeah, committee and the April zoning site visits. Given that you've had time to review these documents, are there any corrections that need to be made to them? Given that there are no corrections, I would like to entertain a motion for the approval of those minutes. Do we have all right, it has been moved and seconded. Given that there's no room for discussion, I will approve them via unanimous consent. Tonight we have two keynote speakers. First, we'll have Director Corey Favor, who will come and will speak on the King Arts Complex, followed by Mr. Favor. We'll have representatives from the American Electric Power of Ohio, Ms. Shacobia Crawford and Drew Curso, who will speak on the Drew transmission station. All right, so at this time, we'll welcome Mr. Favor.
Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, neighbors. On behalf of the King Arts Complex, I just want to introduce myself, Corey Favor, President and CEO of the King Arts Complex. It's day 2, so don't beat me up too bad. But really honored and proud to be the next leader for this historic institution in our community. A little background on myself, originally a New York City native, but I've been a resident of Columbus, Ohio for over 25 years. CCAD alum. Most recently, I served community engagement from Orange Valley Media, which is an outdoor advertising company. 39 years, it served as an anchor institution, connecting arts and community with amazing programming. And as I take the helm as the next leader, really excited to foster those connections and make it the type of space that everybody wants to participate in. With dynamic programming and community-centric programming, as well as an opportunity for artists, neighbors, and visitors to enjoy this. So just honored to take some time out here to introduce myself. Look forward to fostering a better connection with you all. Thank you for your passion for this community and this neighborhood. I don't live far from here. My wife and I reside on Brighton, so just wanted to bring greetings and salutations on behalf of the new leader and open to any questions. But thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming by.
And would like to host, meetings if possible, so Dr. Harris, let us know if you ever need the space, but, looking forward to doing some amazing things under this next season.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Is there any way in which we can support you from a commission standpoint?
That's a great question. We do have a gala coming up, celebrating Senator Herschel Craig in May. I can share those details with you. We have, our, Legends and Legacies event coming up. Our Dream Awards is coming up. We have an amazing summer camp program, so I'd love to share that information as well, so the community can get involved in that. Yeah, so happy to share any communications programming wise that we have at KC with the commission and come back to speak at any point in time. And open to any collaborations that you might have.
Wonderful. Go ahead.
Some time ago, they used to do movies on Saturdays for free for the community, like a family thing. It was years ago, because I used to take my grandkids.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just wondering if you guys will incorporate something like that, reincorporate that.
I mean, absolutely. My vision is to reclaim a lot of that magic that is once there, and to build on that. So I'm open to any new programming ideas, collaborations. So, the thing I love about that institution, it has so many connection points. The stories that I hear from people attending the Garfield School, people having their children there for summer camp, to those kids growing up being camp counselors. It's a really special place. So, I'm open to any, programming and partnership, obviously. Thank you.
And for anything that you would like for us to push out, just you can send it to us and we will send it out on our listserv as well as social media platforms.
I appreciate
Mhm.
it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
Mhm.
Have a great evening, guys.
Thank you.
There was a question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to know where you stand in terms of a lot of the activities we back at the complex. Because I went to like history, from anyways, that was very practicing. And it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I was going over to Mount Vernon Avenue, with more school doing things, and like, with all the historic everything they had,
Middle pass.
yeah, middle passage. And it was quite education, but I took it at the same time. Nothing something that is actually getting, so I would look back to see. I'd like to see it be with activities coming back to now.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm in concert with community, with the other arts organizations that are there. We talked about, we're celebrating 40 years next year. I'd love to have every anniversary back at the grass kids.
Okay.
So thank you for sharing that. And, I agree with all of our mission.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Are there any other questions from members of the community? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Crawford and Mr. Corso, would you like to come? And then as you come, I have the images that were sent over to. So if you are in the gallery and don't have this massive um, the colored packet of images, we'll have it nicely displayed up here for you to review. Yeah. All righty. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, commissioners, for having us. My name is Sylvia Crawford. And like we just mentioned, I'm the KEP Ohio Business Account Manager. And this conversation began about a year ago. And so we're back here to provide an update on the screenings for our Drew substation that we're expected to have fully functioning and open at the end of the year. I did bring some colleagues with me. I have Luz Comar, and she is our Central Ohio Major Projects Manager, as well as Drew Corso, and he handles all of AEP Ohio's major projects. That's what I'll go at.
Yeah, appreciate the time granted to us by the commissioners, and wanted to say hello to all the neighbors to the nearest east side here, Communities Commission. If you're in the gallery, we brought some of these printouts. If you don't have one, maybe one or two left up there. I think I only printed out 25, so if we could share, that would be great. Back to sharing. The first page here is what we call a plan view. It's basically a bird's eye view of the station, of the site. On there, it has these different circles. Those circles represent one Norway spruce pine tree. And the different colors are due to, we have the AEP substation here, property here. And then we worked with Connect Realty, Connect Construction. They're doing the low-income modular housing development next door. And we coordinated our screening with the neighbors, so we had a cohesive view and similar plantings with one another, so it doesn't look, it looks more natural, right? So we don't have one stark kind of landscaping design on one side and then another on the other property. So the purple ones just represent ones that AEP is going to supply, Connect's going to put on their property as screening from their development, blocking some of the view shed to the AEP substation. To help with that view shed from the actual road. So if you look, the bottom of the screen, you actually have Maryland Avenue down at the bottom here. And then we've got Connect building number 2 and their community house up here on the west side. And the subsequent pages are different renderings and views from different points on this map, all looking into the substation, if that makes any sense there. But, and each view has 3 separate renderings. One will be day 0 when the plantings are installed and everybody walks away and the project is done. Then there's one at 7 years. Oh, I'm sorry, one is at 14 years and another one at 34 years. They're the same vantage point, but they show the maturity of the trees and the plantings over time and what they look like. The plantings are Norway spruces. They are going to be 12 feet tall when they're originally planted. I'm sorry.
I'm just having you day
Yes,
0,
right
day
there.
14, or
Right,
year
right.
14.
Yeah, that's okay. If you go back one screen. Yeah, so those trees actually look really, really small, tiny there, right? The perspective is kind of Photoshop, but those are 12 feet tall. And in perspective, this ceiling is 8 feet tall. So the trees right out of the gate are going to be 4 feet taller than the roof here. So we're not playing little individual itty bitty trees there. And then over time, the trees should grow and mature, and they are purposely spaced apart so they don't throw into each other and want to choke each other out and they die over time. So that's year 14, and then the next one is year 34. And that's the view from the road looking at the center of the station.
That's the last image on that.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then the views right there are different views from Connect's buildings. They're obviously concerned about the view shed, looking from their properties into the AEP substation, and we've worked very closely with them. In fact, one of the council commissioners should have gotten an email from Bob Lamb of Connect Construction today. We've come to terms on the landscaping renderings. We're going to have some additional bushes down the property line that they wanted to add. So we graciously said, sure, no problem. And then they've got different points of view. That's the left side. That's the most.
One more?
Yeah, right there. That's the right side, kind of where the train trestle is, looking back at the station. And that's year, I think, 14. That's the left side, looking back, year 14. I will also mention that we maximize the planting areas that we create because there's a tremendous amount of underground distribution circuits that come out of that station and they're going underground. We've purposely located them to come down the actual, the two main entrances. So we can maximize the planting areas to help with blocking some of the view of the stations. There's either gonna be underground distribution lines, or there'll be city utilities, in this open space that you see on the front part of the station. That's why we couldn't plant additional, trees or vegetation there, because it's blocked up by, city utilities or our own distribution, underground lines. I'll pause here for a second, for any questions. I know that was a lot that I ran through for everything.
I have one.
Yes, sir.
Do you happen to have any information about 2020 Mercy Water Rate? Could that have tree?
Too late.
I don't have it available, but I can actually get it.
It would be interesting to know, general rule of thumb, just about 85% of the typical tree plantings. So there may be some gap teeth in there. Is there a plan to address that? Just wait and see what happens.
Well, yeah, I can get back to you on the actual, ask that you have, sir, and yeah, I can get it through the, commission, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I know we did pick, purposely Norway spruces. They're not as fragile as, say, white pines.
Yep.
All trees are subject to, like I am, subject to dying and prematurely, hopefully not too prematurely, but, and that's one of the reasons we wanted the trees on Connect property, because, we both can maintain them simultaneously as they may, die off. Yeah, so we'll definitely get back to you for the commission, sir. Yeah, good question. Yeah.
To piggyback on that, so I just wanna make sure that the trees that are on Connect property that you guys are joint maintaining, that it doesn't end up being this person and, kind of thing. So that was my one question too, is best laid plans, something will die at some point, right? And we don't want either a dead tree just hanging out for a long time or it to not be replaced, so.
Understood, yeah. Let me clarify, because I probably didn't do a good job. Originally, the ones that are on our shared property line were right down the property line. And I've been around enough to know that that becomes a problem down the road. And it's really not out of anybody being spiteful, it's just, it's our finger point, right? So the ones down Kinetic side, we're gonna provide the dollars, they're gonna plant it on Kinetic side and be responsible for it. So there'll be no joint maintenance of that. That'll be solely Kinetic's responsibility.
So,
I appreciate
And then the ones that AEP plans, the color coding was kind of for that, these would be AEP's responsibility. So it's great questions that both of you have. There's one other, I think, added benefit here. Normally, AEP will secure AEP stations with a chain link fence, an 8-foot chain link fence with barbed wire on the top of it. And let's be frank, it's not the most pretty thing in the world, right? So we were able to use a different type of fence. If you could show one of the, like, straight on view up in the road. Yeah, right there, that's it's part of it. So that fence is an upgraded anti-scale, anti-climb, anti-cut fence. It's actually 12 feet tall. There's an actual name brand. It's called an Ameristar 2 fence. And the added benefit of that, it is much more aesthetically pleasing than a barbed wire chain link fence. So we get the added benefit of additional security, but the community gets the added benefit of not only a fence that's not, chain link fence, but also something that looks more along the lines of a wrought iron fence. It also has the screening panels behind it that you will not be able to see through the screening panels. So from this perspective, and actually from the road, it blocks a lot of the station's equipment. Not going to block taller poles, but it will block a lot more of, say, chain link fence that's transparent through there. Yes.
My question is more, if you could give me any answers around the architecture. Sometimes substations can make a little bit of noise, sometimes no noise.
Or is there any architecture in place for any noise, or should folks make?
You can expect any noise to be architecture.
Yeah, there's no architectural sound deadening or those type of things. We don't expect the station to make an inordinate amount of noise. I think what you're referring to is a lot of our, we'll call legacy stations that are around that were built in the 50s and 60s. A lot of those have that humming sound.
Yeah.
a lot of that has to do with transformers and how those are actually operating, like in their life cycle, where we have all brand new stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. We also have upgraded cameras and some megaphones where people actually does get through the fence, and once get in there, we can talk them down and say, hey, police have been called, please exit the property trespassing, but it's not gonna be so huge.
You ain't
Every
everything.
siren, when you're, that's gonna bother the community.
That's helpful to know.
Yeah, so we definitely committed to investing for the fence. We get added security, but the community gets much better with the fence, and I think it's a lot of the stations got equipment. So I think we committed to the news commission screening. We've maximized that where we can. We've worked with the property owner next door. We can talk about that later as we go with Connect. They're also agreeing if they like this plan as well, it works for them. I'll talk with you again because I want to go over the next steps if we have enough time.
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep going. Any questions?
No,
Okay. So we also committed when I was here last to make sure that we kept the roads clean during construction and that we had ample traffic control for protection of pedestrians and, just regular pedestrians. I think we've done that. You'll see that there's still an actual street sweeper on site. It will remain on site and remain active for the entire bill. We're paying that. They're also going all the way forward with that, all the way to the dead end on either side. Because the commission and the neighbors don't care if you make it a mess, they care that the mess gets cleaned up immediately, right? So we've committed to take on that responsibility. We've continued to take on that responsibility. You will see, we just completed what we call the Mass X, where we have bulked out and removed a lot of soil contamination that was on the site. We had let the commission know that last time. We since remediated the whole site. And then we're just about to start the finish grading and the installation of the stone and access roads and ponds and things like that we're putting in. So from now until the end of December, we're slated and motivated to get this project done as quickly and safely as possible. So we will continue to have traffic up and down the road, but we will continue to use a real street sweeper, not a broom on the attached on the front end of the skid loader, right? And we've also do ample flagging, traffic control and things like that. We're also open to anything that the neighbors see that, I live up in Polaris, but I'm not here all day, every day like you all are. So if there's an issue, we want to hear about it, take care of it. It's just that certain feedback. So we can do that through Chakotay or myself with the commission. We are guests here. We want to be as least impactful in a negative way as possible. So we want to get into that ongoing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Commissioner Chris Edwards and Watson are all District 2 commissioners, so they're normally the first ones that normally hear anything regarding this project. And so anything that might come through them when it comes to community feedback, I'll be sure to get it to Ms. Crawford for you.
Yeah, be welcome, please. Doesn't matter if it's small. We'll answer questions or address any issues that you may have.
Sounds good.
Just reach out.
Thank you. And then one last thing, just make my bill less. All right.
I pay the same rates you guys do, so I want to
Great.
less as well. That's all Chakotay. She controls all of it.
Don't say that. We might show up to her house. Oh.
Email address.
But no, thank you both so much. All right, that's it. Thank you. Sounds good. Uh-huh.
All right, what would you like, please?
All righty. Do we have any comments or announcements from commissioners or members of the Community Engagement Committee? Yes.
A couple of dates from OTIMA, they're going to be doing an Old Counties Trash Bash on April 25th at 11 a.m. If you're interested, everybody will be gathering at 11 a.m. at the Fran Ryan Center. The first Music in the Garden will be on Sunday, May 17th at 6 p.m. All are invited to attend. And they are still looking for a few houses to participate in the Old Town East tour of homes. So if you are interested, please reach out to myself or Old Town. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Chris.
Skate neighborhood cleanup will be May 2nd, 8 a.m. The starting point will be skate on tree.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements from commissioners? All right, seeing there are none, Mr. Mario's not here from Community Engagement with Columbus City Council, so we'll go with Mr. Ovalle. All right, Mr. Ovalle is in the hallway, so we'll wait till he comes back, but we do have our next zoning update, from Mr. Kurt. Good to see you again.
You as well. Right. So, much the same as last time, I'm just gonna start with the opening here. City of Columbus is continuing to modernize our 70-year-old zoning code through the zoning initiative in February. Hosted a webinar. We hope you had an opportunity to participate in those efforts. If you were unable to join us but would like to view the webinar, then for the area commissions, the webinar was recorded and has been uploaded to your area commissioner login page. As far as the project update, as of the last time I was here, city staff has been working with our consultants to draft new zoning districts that support the goals of both zoning and the Columbus growth strategy. These districts fall into three primary land use categories. Those are mixed-use industrial, warehouse business, and institutional campus. And we have a little details on those. So phase 2 will include 15 total districts at this point. 6 existing mixed-use districts that were adopted by council in 2024 as part of phase 1. Mixed-use district. Another one being a four-story mixed-use district, and a third being an industrial mixed-use district that allows light industrial uses. There are also business and institutional campus districts, as previously mentioned. These would be like your large campus districts, like your Ohio State University, your hospital, those sorts of things. There would be a 5 to 7 story employment-focused district under this category as well, which requires a percentage of employment uses. And finally, a 7 to 10 story employment-focused district, similar uses as the 5 to 7, just our text. Finally, that third is the industrial districts, and those would be an urban industrial district, a light industrial district, and a heavy industrial district. Moving on to engagement. So there should be a handout sheet on your guys' desk, and for anybody in the public who would like to take a look at this afterwards as well, there should be a few copies on the table over there. This is an outline of our engagement opportunities that were both in the winter, spring, and moving into the spring and summer. So we will be seeking your input on both the proposed districts as well as the zoning map with these districts applied to the actual parcels this summer during a 60-day public comment period. This handout is outlining what events are going to be happening during that 60-day public comment period are. So if you see on the right-hand side, during the spring and summer engagement tour, we're going to be conducting public surveys. There will be the zoning gallery, if you remember from the first phase. We will be doing that as well downtown again. Holding public webinar, public hearings, different stakeholder interviews, and other scheduled events at the gallery, the zoning gallery hosted downtown. After the 60-day comment period, we will also still be holding public hearings as well. And of course, as we're kind of transitioning from spring into summer, we are still having these area commission meetings as well. There's a little bit of project timeline there at the bottom, though as far as I understand, we don't have any solid dates as far as when the 60-day comment period will be. We're just targeting sometime later this summer. Let's see, and that is all we have as far as major items. So in closing, we encourage you to stay engaged by 1, watching project emails, 2, visiting our website. There should be business cards cards on the table as well for any members of the public that would like to follow along, has a QR code that links to the website. And following us on social media. As always, if you have any questions, please contact us at zoningupdate@columbus.gov, which is again also listed on business cards. And just as a quick reminder, kind of like last month, we will not be visiting your commission the next month, but we'll return the following month in June. Thank you for your time. If you have any quick questions, yep.
So, before you finalized your land use map, had an opportunity as zoning chair for the commission to meet with staff and like kind of look at the map and talk about it. And I'm just wondering if that opportunity will present itself again in terms of the zoning map that you're planning to make public. 60 days may be fine as an opportunity for the public to look at it, but that's not a ton of time. So I'm just wondering if before it sort of officially is put out there, would there be that opportunity to get a look at what you're planning to introduce?
I would imagine that's something that we could probably facilitate. I will ask, and if you want to sidebar it as well, we can do that. But I'll go ahead and put that as a comment to stick back to planning.
Question.
And this was specifically for the area commission.
Well, obviously, I'm mostly interested in what's being proposed for the Near East Side, but
Sure.
I mean, it was very convenient to be able to have some input on the, before you put it out to the public.
Certainly. I guess my question was like, would this be more for like the public and the area commission? Or is this like a specific for like the area commission? It's like the commission leadership wants to take a look first.
That's it.
Yes, glad. Okay. I'll go ahead.
Any other questions from members of the community? Any questions? All right, and and then once the 60-day period does open, we do plan to hopefully have a Near East Day there where we invite as many members of the community possible to the gathering and so forth.
Certainly. I mean, it would follow the same model as the first phase where we did have the specific days for a specific items. That's my understanding.
Fantastic. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kerr. All right, Mr. Ovalle, our wonderful neighborhood liaison.
Good evening, commissioners, committee members, Jesus Ovalle with the Department of Neighborhoods. 3 quick updates. I did send it through email, but I just want to reiterate the National Night Out 2026 grant applications are out. The deadline for the application is May 1st, and the event will be posted as usual the first Tuesday of August, which is August 4th. Last night we did, the Department of Neighborhoods posted a info session, and there is a second one scheduled for Tuesday, April 21st. So if any community is interested in applying for the grant, I would probably highly encourage you to send it out through email, send it again, shoot it to me, that was great. Another announcement, Columbus City Schools, the Board of Education invites the community to a town hall. I know that's the same time as planning and zoning, but you're available. And then last but not least, I do want to highlight, there's going to be a free Franklin County Criminal Record Saving and Expungement Clinic, Saturday, April 18th, from 10 to 2 at Ohio Means Jobs Employment Center, just down the street at 1111 East Broad. Along with that, they're also going to have a job and resource fair that's open to the public as well. So I encourage you to attend or distribute it out to the community. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Ovalle. All right, at this time, we will move on to planning of Commissioner Rice.
Yes, so the planning zoning meeting is a week from today, and on the agenda are four properties. First one is 470 to 476 Point Champion, and that is to the duplex with a garage. There is 155 South Ohio, which is a variance split 3 lots. And then there is a graphics review for the Red Cross building and 995 East Broad Street. And the last thing, we'll have a informal conceptual review of the plans for the Broadway, which is 1312 East Cross Street, right across the street, by the new owners. That's the end of the planning report.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, it's the hour, for zoning. Commissioner Lowenstein.
Thank you very much. I would say before we jump into the 4 cases that are scheduled for tonight, we thought we would have a case coming up, and I forget the address, it's a property at Champion and Brighton. That property is tabled again for tonight because the owner needed to meet with both the historic district body as well as the Old Town East Neighborhood Association. We asked them come back with recommendations pro or con from those bodies before you expect the commission here to vote. And their date meeting with the historic district folks is coming up like next week or something, I think. So we told them, okay, fine, we'll, put it off for another month. The first case up tonight is 574-76 Kel. Take it away. Keep in mind, as you know, there are people here who have not heard the presentation before.
I have a question.
Yes,
What you just
on
said
the
about
other
HRC.
property?
Yeah, HRC. You move
Okay.
faster than I can say. Never mind, you move so fast. I was gonna make a recommendation. Is there any way the commission could ask that if there are properties that are required to appear before HRC, that they do that first before coming to anybody else? Because it seems like they're coming to different groups. And then everybody's saying, I want to wait to hear what HRC has to say. So is there any way you would maybe ask them to go to HRC first?
Right, well, I know they filed for their zoning, and so we put it on our calendar. And it's like, we don't find out about the status of everything until it comes to the planning and zoning meeting. And we found out at that point they hadn't been to HRC, and we told them they needed to go, but we went ahead and had the site visit meeting.
Right.
Thinking they might have gotten that scheduled before it was gonna come to general body. They were unsuccessful in doing that until like after this meeting. We didn't know that at that time, so it was.
But I was asking maybe you could request the city do that, I know they send them out.
It would be great if the city advised them of that when they file for the zoning and they get that done before it comes to us, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen that way. I
Well-
hear you, you're right.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm asking if there's any way we could request. I'm sure, it just seems like it's a waste of time because everybody, when they want to go to other. I heard that Otina was saying, let's hear what HRC has to say. People here want to know what HRC has to say, so why not go to them first?
I think it's a great point, but I think sometimes we need to be responsive to our applicants' desires to move forward through our process too. So I think it would be nice if it is an HRC product that when we respond to them, we say, hey, we highly recommend you can go to the HRC process. But if you still want to come to us first, then your prerogative, we'll see. I think that might be a nice balance.
No, I was asking that directive will come from the city. That's,
There's a lot of
making
HRC
requests. Because of the delays that it causes.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm saying, make a formal request that the city, because HRC is involved, that they send the applicants there first.
Who do you think is the right person at the city? All right,
That's all.
we hear you, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move forward with 574-76 L. 3,
Sounds great.
it's a simple project.
Yep, no problem. All right, hey guys, I'm an architect, Josh Tomey with Saturday Studio. I think I've met most of you at this point. So this duplex being proposed is located at Holton and Kelton, so right along the North Mountain Highway exits as you're getting onto 70. This is in South of Main neighborhood. It is 574-576 Kelton because the lot previously held a duplex that was at some point demolished, and now we're looking to build a duplex in place of what used to be there.
So in order to do that, because the lot had been downzoned at one point, we are requesting variances in order to allow for a two-family to once again exist on this parcel. We have a lot of variances that are based on the fact that the lot is a standalone county lot and it's undersized for the zoning code. So it is it is 2,470 square feet, whereas 5,000 square feet would typically be required. The lot width is 32.5, whereas 50 feet would typically be required. We are asking for a side yard setback of 1 foot on one of the sides, whereas 3 feet would typically be required. That one is very unique in that that side yard is actually our frontage on Sound Street. So according to the Department of Traffic Management, in order to make sure people are not parking on the sidewalk, they want your building a little closer so that our driveways that are accessing the building do not have enough space to park a car. So that's why we're shifting our building closer to Mound Street on that one side. The building setback on the front facade, the city sent us something that said we want 18 feet. Instead, we're proposing to align it with the buildings next to us, which is 14. This allows us to also have a nice front porch on the front of the building. A clear vision triangle of 8.8 feet because the post of our porch sticks out a little bit too far there. That was supported by traffic management, so they did send us our letter results and they have no problem with the reduction in that clear vision triangle. The rear yard would be 8.5%, whereas 25% is typically required. You can see on the back that we are providing a porch for the tenants of the rear unit of the duplex. This lot does not go all the way to the back. At some point, it was split and another house behind it. So that's why the lot is not of normal size. Lot coverage to allow for 59% coverage instead of 50%. And then finally, parking space. So we have an internal garage space attached to each of the duplex units, but instead of 2 spaces, we're only about 1 space per unit. So those are all of our variances, but it's a standard attached duplex with vernacular architecture. I'm not sure if Sheree can show you the elevations that we submitted with that. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Separate.
All right, we've seen it, we saw it at the site visit meeting, I think we saw it at planning and zoning also, it's a very conventional design, there's nothing remarkable about it. Both planning and zoning supported the project. What we liked about it was that it was aligned in terms of setbacks with adjoining units. It's a short lot, there's nothing done about that, so it's an existing condition, so we didn't have problems with lot coverage. It is what it is. There used to be a double there, so it serves as a basis for allowing the reconstruction of what used to be. It does provide at least the 1 parking space off-site per unit, which is our normal requirement for support. And we like seeing infill. So we were all good with it. Anyone on the commission rather, I'm sorry, have any questions for the applicant or comments?
I'll make some more comments in support of planning. The porches are nice because while we were out doing the site visit,
Folks on their porch waiting for things to well. That's one of the reasons why we like to look at that. It's engagement for people that have sleeping on their porch. It allows
you the opportunity at least to say hello to folks. It's also in my neck of the woods and it seems to fit perfectly.
Anyone else on the commission have anything they want to add?
I recall the last time you were here, you made mention in regards to the neighbor that you were trying to get in contact with that was, past the table saying.
This is a different.
This is, yeah, completely
This is a different project.
My apologies.
Anyone else?
No, we did not respond to my letters.
Anyone else on the commission have anything? Anyone in the community wish to speak to this? Yes, sir. Say your name, please.
Kevin McFadden, how many bedrooms per unit?
There's 3.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Wait,
Yeah. This is
bring that back. We got enough rendering.
Oh, no, this is
lot
itself.
itself.
Yeah, just the lot.
Oh, okay. All right.
That helps a lot.
Yeah,
If you'd like to go back to the lot, yeah.
I figured you would.
I was
Working on getting it pulled up.
Ms. Bailey?
South of Madison, that part of Kelton is starting to develop very nicely. And I think this is right in.
It's Mr. Schaefer, it's a very traditional,
Yeah.
2-story.
Renderings in the planning table.
You don't need
I
any.
see that. Feel a little.
Well, Sean, it's important.
There we go.
We're not having.
It looks like all the other buildings on the street.
Do we have access to
All right.
Finished now?
I can.
Can I finish now? I was trying to give you some support.
Yeah.
I'm talking and walking around. No, I was saying is that portion of Belton is developing very nicely. And I'm glad that we're very happy to have something of this caliber on the table that somebody just does.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak? All right, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Chris.
Second Thompson.
It's right there.
Do we know who seconded this? Do you have that? All right, very good. All in favor? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's unanimous. It's 12-0, 0. Thank you very much. Are you gonna do you got that ready to go?
Yeah.
You know the drill.
I do.
Send it to the planner, send it to us also, so we know you've submitted it. Thank you. Keep it going. Next case up is 410 Hamilton Avenue.
Yeah, I think it's 14, not putting all of them order.
Good evening.
Evening. So, we've heard your case before, but as I said to the last applicant, there are a couple of people on the commission who are not on planning or zoning, so they don't know anything about it. You have 3 minutes. Give us a overview of what you're proposing to build and what variances you need.
Okay, on this vacant lot, we're adding a duplex that has 3 bedrooms in each unit. They're 2-story duplexes. And then on the back of the property, we're adding a 2-car garage with an ADU above it with just a 1-bedroom. So the variance that we're asking for is to reduce the parking requirement from 4 cars, there's 2 for each unit in the duplex, down to 2 cars. And that's the only variance that we're requesting.
Okay. You have a little more time if you want to say anything more about it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just a quick question. You said that it's going from a 2-car to a 1-car or a 1-car to a 2-car?
It's a 2-car garage, so we're requesting, instead of 4 parking spaces, we're requesting that to go down to 2 parking spaces.
Gotcha.
So there'll be the 2 parking spaces in the garage, but there won't be any parking space.
Gotcha.
And as you may know, the city's ADU ordinance does not require an off-street parking space for an additional dwelling. All right,
And it was reviewed by the neighborhood commission.
who did you meet with?
Yeah, Brownsville. And they had requested that we added, they just asked if we would add a couple of design details to it. So at that back porch back there, they asked if we could put a little covering over that porch back there. And then they asked if we would add some hemp columns to the front porch. Just to,
Well, I see that Bronxville Neighborhood Association is represented tonight. And when we get to the neighborhood feedback, I'm sure we will hear from Bronxville about this. I would note that this is a project where planning committee voted in favor, but the zoning committee did not. Zoning voted 5-1 opposing the project, and the reasons had to do with 2 things, I think. One is lot coverage, and as you see from this, these are like 2 separate single-family houses, one in front, one in back, that occupy the greatest percentage of the lot. Then there's only 10 feet between this large double and the garage, so that's the backyard, 10 feet. It's very, very small for this one. But even though there are some green spaces on the sides of it, we were concerned about the overall coverage and the lack of usable green space for any real purpose. And then while we understand the city's ordinance doesn't require a parking space to the ADU, when you're asking us for parking variance for going from 2 spaces to 1 space, we really have, we have 3 dwelling units here with only 2 off-street spaces. And so it really falls short of what we're, used to supporting. So I would say those were the reasons that the zoning committee did not support the project. That's where it stands, at this time. Who on the commission wishes to speak? Yeah.
I would like to say that planning was in favor for a few different things. I was at the zoning site, so I was able to see the lot and the properties next to it.
Specifically in terms of planning,
I would like you, I don't want to speak for you, if the plan is still correct. I can see there. He said that one of the reasons he was doing this project would allow him to have materials to the property next to it, that looked like it could use a little bit of help. And so part of the reason that I came out of that zoning site visit more in support of it is that it lent itself to also supporting and improving the property right next to it. And we talked about some other stuff, but if anyone else has any other things they want to chime in on there. I think the housing density for Bronxville was also there. Supported it after the site visit, but I'll let them speak themselves think about it as well.
All right, who else on the commission wishes to say anything?
Oh, what inspired, Chair, what inspired this particular design? Because I think there are similar designs like this in the neighborhood on Monroe and then also St. Clair, so I'm curious.
I think just to, yeah, he's looking to, put duplexes in the neighborhood just to, improve the amount of housing that's available.
Okay.
Commissioner Hanson,
What will the, ADU unit be used for? Somebody live there, or will it be, cause somebody else was before, so they were using theirs just as a little pool house or a house to entertain in the backyard?
It is designed as a 1-bedroom apartment, like a small apartment, so it just has a small little kitchenette in it, and a sitting area, little eating space, and then a little bedroom and then
And I really think there should always be one car per unit.
with the updated zoning code that was passed, that's been Columbus, they no longer require.
I'm familiar with that, but when I get off work, I want to park somewhere that I know is designated for me.
Commissioner Cleveland.
I wanted to give a little bit more context to your question, Commissioner Humphrey. At the site visit, we were told that the intent is that this project will be sold. And when they spoke to a realtor, they were told that this design was most likely to sell quickly. And so if the project is going to be sold, that ADU can go anywhere and do anything.
Anyone else on the commission have a comment or a question?
I just wanted to confirm, so the 2 main buildings, those are also like 1 bedroom or like.
The duplex, they each have 3 bedrooms.
And so, this is why I said they're really, the plan is to build 2 houses that are attached. They're both full-size houses.
Yeah.
And that's a choice the applicant is making. Because sure, they are more saleable as, 2 houses that happen to be connected back to back. But that's their choice of how they wish to sell it.
I wanted to ask real quick, the lot previously had a duplex line, correct? Or no? You said yes?
We know.
I want to say that whole street is so it.
So I don't know, but what I can say is yes, the whole street is duplexes that look very similar to the design, like Bronzeville was mentioning. It is consistent with the design of the neighborhood when there was more density. Whether or not there was a lot of area property, I don't know.
Anyone else have anything they wanna chip in? Anyone in the community wish to speak to it, this Bronzeville Neighborhood Association? wish to say anything?
Yes, Daniel Mason, Bronxville Neighborhood Association, and we support the project, we like the project. The density is critical in our neighborhood. And historically, our neighborhood since the twenties has been much denser than it is now. There's been ancillary structures, carriage houses, small houses exactly like this, very close to other houses for families. And in the 50s, 60s, the city decided to go the opposite way and had all those torn down and cleared out. So we like to say it's back to the future. This is bringing back what we've always had. We need the people. Hamilton is an unusual street in that it has all its existing houses with porches. They're putting a porch on that. There's numerous ADUs that have been built around the city which have very small yards. There's one in Wyland Park that was done almost 10 years ago that has about the same size. I think it's like an 8, halfway between Italian Village and 11. And there's some in German Village. So this is not an unusual condition. It's a condition that fits a particular site in our neighborhood. And we want density, we need density.
Thank you very much.
Willis Brown, President of the Bronxville Neighborhood Association.
I don't know that you get two people.
Done well. I'm okay.
No, seriously.
But you should get in general, but I can be a private at any time. But anyway, and speaking with the owner and where it's located, this would attract more of the young professional or the people that are a little, they're not concerned with as much space, because in front of it, you've got the highway. So it's not something, this is what you're gonna see, and that's what's there. So it suits a young person coming out at school or want to become a business person, an entrepreneur, can buy and rent the other one out like a duplex. Like I said, that whole street is loaded with the porches. So it's different than the city of Monroe, where you want the more mature person with a family that's gonna be there. So you want more space. Here, you're looking to target the younger group of individuals who want to come to Bronxville. So we're just trying to encourage a variety of different housing for different people. And we know on Monroe, we have the same kind of setup on St. Clair. We're front and back. Here they're connected, so it lends itself to have more variety for different people's needs, because when you look out there, you have that exit off the 670. You have the freeway there, so that kind of lends itself to someone who's willing to be there. It's like those who live where the trains go by, or wherever it is. It's not everyone's, bailiwick. It suits that. I'm glad that he's doing something like this, that we can have a variety in the neighborhood.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the neighborhood, I'm sorry, or in the community, rather, wish to speak to this case?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Kevin McFadden. It may not be germane to the discussion, but I'm very curious about the blended marketing of this. Are you gonna sell this as 3 separate units? A duplex, the whole package?
It would have to be, it's one property, so it would need to be sold as one unit.
It's not a condominium.
Right, so duplexes have shared ownership in many cases, the one next to me does.
Okay, well, then, yeah, that's kind of split into a condominium. I'm not sure, that would be.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. It would actually split into a condo, or it's like 2 separate parcels.
But I think it would be bad to have 3 separate
Oh,
owners
yeah.
on this, on one tiny lot.
Thank you for walking us All right. All right, anything else, last comments?
Can I mention something else?
Sure.
Well, 2 things. It is kind of a unique property, just because as we saw with Hamilton, there are no properties on the opposite side of the street. So there really is there's the ability to park on both sides of Hamilton Street there. Because it's one way. Correct? Oh, it's not a one. Okay, there's just that truck.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would not recommend any.
There are no
both sides of that.
Okay. All right, and then the other thing I just wanted to mention is that the allowable lot coverage for that property is 50%, and the coverage that we are proposing is 46.4.
Right, we understand that you fell under that. It's just that that's the green space is mostly on the sides where it can't really be used, except it does absorb water. It does accomplish that. All right,
Can I clarify the parking situation?
go for it.
Okay. Buckingham hits Hamilton midway between Shiloh Baptist Church and up to, the underpass goes to 6th Avenue. So half of the street has two-way parking, half of the street has one-way, only one side parking. So there is plenty of parking. Majority of the time, Saturday we were there, it's because the various commissioners came and pulled up parking space. So there is parking.
All right, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve.
So move, Benson.
Second, answer Humphrey.
All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well done. Pointless, isn't it? 12-0, thank you, you have our support.
Thank you.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
Let's see, this is the mayor of the Pacific Association, taking a strong position on important matter. I mean, they have. Make sure you email us back when you email that to the city planner. Make sure, thank you very much. Next case up is 1776. Seems like a very. All right, so this, I remember this case, and this is the one that we did do a site visit meeting on, because we decided as an existing property, nothing new being built, that there wasn't much the neighborhood was gonna have input on, so if anyone in the neighborhood is here about this, this is the opportunity to have your input. So, you came to planning and zoning, you got support from planning, and zoning voted at that time as well, both votes were 7-0-1. So there are a few people here who are not on those committees, so you got 3 minutes, shouldn't require more, to tell us about the change and how you're gonna operate this building and why you're, start off by telling us why you're here. Remind us.
So the Village Network, what we're here, what we do is for children and youth throughout the state of Ohio, actually in Western also. Creating a place for them to stay overnight, treatment for crisis, yeah. Foster kids, between homes, this and that. We want to get families put back together from the angle. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this down here. We don't have a facility down here doing this currently. So we're trying to look for a 5-bedroom, short-term residential treatment center at this property that already has treatment going on as daily basis, but nothing overnight.
So I think you told us at planning and zoning meeting that you were required to get approval on this in terms of the change in your certification or
Special
license.
permit, UCR-R.
Okay. And that's the zoning district, correct, the city created along Broad Street.
Correct.
Right. Okay, so, again, nothing's gonna change on the exterior of the building. What's gonna change is what goes on inside the building to some degree. You told us at the planning and zoning meeting that some rehab will happen inside the building to create these five bedroom
bedrooms,
spaces.
kitchenette, dining room, common area that we have to have for licensing. But we'll basically move a couple walls, add one wall, and that's it. We'll have an office and restrooms, men's and women's with showers.
Thank you. Anyone on the commission have any questions or comments?
Good day. I wanted to see, the number of beds that are gonna be in the 5 bedrooms, and then also, how do you differentiate in regards to like if it's gonna be a male suite or a female suite, like what is the dynamics of that?
It's a great question. This is basically part of a rapid response program, so it's like families that are in crisis, so it's basically what I'm used to with the law, that's
crisis. Currently, we have 23 hours to help the family, and so there are times when we need a little more time to contact the family and work out. So it's very short term, and it kind of is based on who's coming in the door this.
Okay, and so are you saying that you're gonna designate of the 5 rooms, this is gonna be a girl room, boy room, et cetera? Or are you saying it could potentially be, if it's a boy and a girl, and you're gonna put them both in the same room, like what are we
No,
saying? That's what
absolutely
I'm
not.
asking.
No, there's staff there, like that would not,
Maybe one bed per room.
yeah.
It's
One
not, it's
bed
not,
per room.
yeah, it's not gonna be,
Okay.
it's not gonna be anything more than one.
Thank you
So
for
it's
that
5 bedrooms, less than that's only.
Anyone else? You had your hand up.
I did, but she answered she asked the, question that I had in mind about how many beds per room. So I'm thinking more of, is this operating similar to the Huckleberry House? Would this be like, when the teens, how do you get your kids? Is it referral? Or if a kid is having a crisis, can I say, hey, go on down there to the network, they'll take you in?
Yes.
Cause the Huckleberry House kids, you could just drop off and they gonna take them in.
Yeah, it's slightly different than that, though. It is through FCCS referral, so if the family is struggling, we can intervene immediately, so we can begin mental health services immediately. So that's like the difference, there's no wait, we're gonna rapidly respond to like what the family's going through and offer services.
But through Franklin County Children's Services.
Yeah, they refer to us.
So you're saying it's gonna basically be a respite, and then until you find housing, is that what we're saying, like, foster care or something like that placement?
It is similar to that in that, the families in crisis, the ones that go back to the family, they just get into the services. So the clinician immediately does an assessment, works with the family, and whatever the issue is.
How long do you anticipate you being there?
This is something we asked specifically in planning. So right now you have kids for and this is to increase that amount of time to what? Somewhere, but you can give us a range, it doesn't have to be an exact date, but folks are, because essentially you're doing the same thing, but giving longer to do it so that you have more resources, so folks will think.
All right, anyone else on the commission have any questions? Anyone in the community have any comments? State your name, please.
Being familiar with the building, programs too. Being familiar with the building, where are the units?
More on the backside, so this is Broad Street here, it's gonna be on the backside. Kind of towards, actually closer to, Long Street.
And back there is a drop off.
Correct, we've got parking there.
What is that from?
So we have some 15 units there, so we have outpatient, so people come over.
Police car.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns about I know you've lived near there already.
Well, that is, and you got a lot of kids. You got East High School, you got St. Charles, we got, Atherton, on Broad Street. You got kids sitting on the stoops. One time I came by, a kid was powering his cell phone, trash pickup daily. Those are, now I live urban, so I understand that. This is a community that has its fair share of, having to kind of supplement the community. Now, I'm glad to know that it's not another building there. I'm pleased to know that. But, it's quite a bit.
If I understand correctly, this is not necessarily to increase the number of children that you're allowed to have, but to give you more time to help those same amount of kids that are.
The same children. We're talking about the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
And everything, the free go with it. They're all supervised.
Anyone else?
So, your parking is already pretty packed, this is gonna increase your staff numbers? Okay, so it would increase parking.
Anyone else? State your name, please. We'd like to know who you are.
Sorry, Mark Phillips.
Thank you.
Currently, are there any response for voucher over?
Yes.
What was that? What was that question?
Are we gonna go for the community?
You had a question.
But you said no additional staffing?
Correct.
You have overnight staffing now?
Yes.
Same people?
Yes.
That will give a concept?
Yeah.
Why isn't it there?
Sorry. Please raise your hand if you're in the community and ask if you wish to present. I'm sorry, but we can't have this, it has to be one person at a time.
Yeah, I know, I know what he's saying, I can hear it. Okay, Kathy Grant's here.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, sir. What is it?
Neighbor building community member, why are these, staff members there overnight?
Because we can treat them for 23 hours. Right now, we can keep the kids for 23 hours.
They can arrive at any time. So the clock for 23 hours could start at 1 o'clock in the morning, but then it has to be done before 1 o'clock in the morning the next day, which is why you have to have staff for the
Any last comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So Benson. Second, Katz.
All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Unanimous. Thank you very much. And again, as we said to the other applicants, when you send the rectification form to the planner, the city, copy us as well, so we know that it's gone in. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
I didn't
the,
understand it either. First time around, I didn't vote. I just abstained because I was like, I'm gonna answer.
The last zoning case up tonight is 1258 Oak Street.
Last gentleman here.
Thank
you. Oh, make my life so much. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I
remember. Before we start, just like 1 minute.
Brief recess?
We need a 1 minute human break
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
couple of commissioners, so.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Can you figure out how to get this minutes a little too big? And I got, oh
Pass them around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we got all them snacks in his office still. Mr. O'Brien, can you bring some of those snacks out? Can you bring out some of the snacks? Thank you.
Which?
The strange thing about this is that they work, you guys, 7 minutes. But no, actually, it's 10. Yeah, somebody screwed up.
It wasn't me, but I looked at it.
Okay.
Correct amount.
Sounds about right.
But we refused it.
Yeah,
So we took into account what you were saying.
Those condos. That place to.
What a lunch that's gonna be.
And that's because that, yeah. So that we lowered the, we lowered the. That's why the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Got one more.
We think we're sure. Okay. All right, here we go, 1258 Oak Street. So, again, as I said to the other applicants, there are a couple of people on the commission that are not on planning or zoning, so they don't know anything that should affect the project.
Chair, real quick, before we get started, I would like to put out to the commission that we did receive a letter from Otina that was very concerned because this project did not come to Otina, and the community members of Otina really wanted to have the opportunity to hear about the project from the applicants. They did review, many of them did review our recording for the planning and zoning meeting. There were several comments in the community forum. We've also received more letters about this project than we have a lot of other projects. And in particular, Otina is concerned because they feel like the reason that this project didn't come and talk to them last night was because of the expedited nature of the project. So I wanted to put that out there. We really historically have really valued input from our civics. Bronzeville is here today. I'll speak for myself with their advocacy for the project changed my vote. So there's reasons why we have good partnerships with our civic. So I guess my question is given that feedback from the civic that is relevant to this, do we want to legal this and ask that the applicant go and talk to Otina? Or do you feel like we've gotten enough community feedback from letters and other things that it's a question.
So, on the topic, might be bypass or anyway, anything good? Anyway, anyway, so how many people who are here are here to speak to this case tonight?
Okay.
3. So before, when the place was crowded, we were thinking there were more people than that, and we wanted to make sure, well, so many people came, you know, that we wanted to give them an opportunity to speak, and we were gonna go through all the comments and then decide whether we could vote on. And is someone here tonight representing the whole Town's Neighborhood Association or not?
Excuse me, that was bad. I couldn't keep that. But therefore, whatever discussion was had to feel that you could represent.
And if I hadn't read the letter that they wrote today, I probably would feel comfortable, but because of the letter that they wrote, I mean, it was 2 full pages about the city trying to box out community member comments. I mean, it was, others have read it, please correct me if I'm overstating, but because of that and not being a trustee on Otina, I'm not comfortable saying that I'm a trustee.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
I also read people, we had 14 emails coming. Some of them were, I could identify as living in the area time, but the ones that referenced to Tina, they were more or less negative because it wasn't presented. So I'm also of a planning division table, and we should talk about feedback.
So what the choice we have on that is, do we take testimony tonight, have the applicant speak, ask questions, take community input on it, and then if someone makes a motion to table, because it hasn't been heard by Tina, we vote on it then, or do we want to vote on that now instead of having the case heard?
This is Roy McMahon, your comment, Commissioner.
Okay.
So in terms of this, yeah, it was fast track, so Commissioner Clement, you are correct. And so I was gonna suggest that I not go to the next city meeting, and then we do Otina next month, and we push it back. I agree with you. Because actually the comments that, especially Mr. McFadden and that you made last time were very good. So we made a lot of changes. I want to get community feedback though. So I don't want to move next month to the city meeting. I want to get the community approval before.
So are you saying you're willing to table here tonight?
I want to present to show you what I've done so far, and then next month I want to go to Tina. Cause I think what we've done now is much better than what it was before, even though planning loved it and everyone was, was unanimous. I mean, I understand. However, the people that were talking on the site meeting, at first I was very upset maybe, but then I went, wait a second, this is good points and things that needed to be addressed. And honestly, I have to say that. So it was actually a very good experience for me and I want to wait, yeah. But I do want to present what I've changed so far.
I think it would be great to have the community be able who showed up this meeting.
All right, let's go forward with it. Are you on board with that? All right, let's do that and then, and when we're done, instead of voting on the case, we'll first do a motion to table and see if that. All right, let's go forward then.
That works. Hello, yeah, my name's Shay. I represent 1258 Oak Street. So, I definitely heard you guys' comments from the site visit, and I was definitely wanting to change things on it. So if we go, let me go ahead and read what the site visit kind of showed us that we needed to change, and they're very good comments. Needs green space. That was one thing we didn't have. Commissioner Fleet, like you were totally correct. So we went ahead and changed that, and I'll get to the solutions after what we did. Vision triangle issues, Mr. Kevin, you made that evident, and that was clear. They're worried about driving that intersection and not being able to see oncoming cars because of Townhome 6, which is the townhome right on that block, blocking the views. Mr. McFadden was right. We fixed that. Townhome 2 close to sidewalk. I'm not too sure what her name was, but there was a resident that lived around the community. She made that statement and she was right. So we fixed that. And then there was a kind of more of an not odd, but people were putting in their input of wanting a lunch venue and not another coffee breakfast location for that commercial space. So we will go ahead and commit to that as well. The solutions that I made is Townhome 6 has been removed. And then in place, there's been a park put in there. So almost 500 square foot park has been placed there. The Townhome 6 that was blocking the line of sight between Oak and Wilson have been removed. There is now a massive vision triangle with great line of sight. Townhome setback on Oak Street and on Wilson Avenue now 2 feet instead of 0. So we added vegetation, green space in front of every single townhome. So thank you guys for that. And then we commit to having commercial space only be used for lunch and dinner hours as to not impede with other people's, what they want to do. I know there was some sort of, yeah, there was like a big, I know you were, Commissioner, you went, yeah, people were talking to me about it and I committed to, okay, I will. And I did speak with the community. I lived here for 8 years. I know a lot of people and they came up to me, but I have to thank everyone who gave me that criticism. And sometimes people don't, and they just let you do whatever, but this was very good criticism that I have taken and used. So if we could go to the second page, please, so so we can see the site plan. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here. What we have on this is it's showing the green space there. Yep, that's the park. It has bikes as well. You can put bikes there. It's also showing where in the front of each of the townhomes there are green spaces as well. All the other stuff's kind of stayed the same. I know planning was very happy, but I wanted to make sure I handled everything that on-site zoning.
possible to build, you know, things that are reasonably affordable in the neighborhood if land is gonna cost what is equivalent to being able to put 73 units per acre. So I just throw that out there, that it's a concern that we have from a density standpoint. It's a beautiful, I think most people would look at this and say, that's a very attractive building.
Thank
plan to build. So it has its things going for it. That, I'm just wanting to lay the thing out for everyone. Yes.
I've got a lot of questions, so bear with me. So just to kind of get a general feel, we've heard from you a variety of different hats that you're wearing with this project. Can you please explain to us what your role is? Are you owner's rep? You told us owner's rep, you told us developer, you also.
Family's involved, and other individuals are involved, I'm the owner.
Okay.
Yes, they name it, I'm Elizabeth.
I think the other thing is there was a lot of comments at the planning meeting about the aesthetic. The reality is what we're voting on is the zoning of it, the zoning variances, and the aesthetic could be anything. So I see that this has been created via Gemini. Do you have an architect on board?
Yeah, of course, yeah, of course we do. Honestly, is that really, we have an architect. This is, Commissioner Kluback, what? We have, clearly we do. We spent tens of thousands, I built stuff in the area. It's my architect. I have an architect. It's somebody out of Austin. I have somebody. His name's Spencer. This is odd. I think these folks are something is up. Something is odd. Something is not right. I mean, of course we have an architect. What?
You're showing a rendering that was created with AI.
No, but, okay, wait a second, but first of all, how do you know that? Second of all, I have the plans. I mean, the plans are right here. Want to see the plans, the actual plans?
Is that not what you submitted?
No, but do you want to see the actual architectural plans that we have?
Typically, that's what's submitted with your application, so it's not.
No, this is zoning. This is not architectural review. You just said that. You just said that, did you not? Okay, you just did.
Let's not get into.
No, but when you're asking somebody if they have an architect or not, it is extremely defamatory. We're spending tens of thousands of dollars with phrases.
No, because we frequently have people who don't have architects.
No, but we do.
And that's fine.
And I built stuff in the area. I built stuff in the area. I don't understand.
It's a fair question. We normally hear from architects on a project of this size. Usually the architect comes with the applicant.
Okay, but yeah, but I mean, I was unanimously voted at the start as everything was good. Okay, well, I was unanimous. I mean, obviously I did a good job. I was unanimously supported at the start, and we have an architect. We spent tens of thousands of dollars. I've done stuff in the community. We've owned stuff in the community, like, I mean, for almost a decade. So,
all right, can we move on from that topic, please?
Yeah. So my next question is, so thank you. I appreciate your responsiveness to the comments that were made at the zoning meeting. That's awesome. I think my next question is part of the reason for the height of your apartment building is because your parking under the building has really tall ceilings. And one of the things that I'm concerned about with this project is the height of that. And so is there an opportunity to lower the ceiling of your parking garage area so that the height of the building comes down, but you don't lose any of the density that you've got with the 3 levels?
we could do that, but then we want natural light, just like you love green space. We want natural light to go in the towns in the back. So it kind of adds that, not to mention if there's a commercial space in here, we want vehicles to be able to go in and out if they're trucks. So I think that's kind of my answer for that, Commissioner. But I take everything that you said to heart, and I think that the project is very cool. Obviously, I do believe that there's some sort of interference going on, because this doesn't make any sense. You've made another comment. I'm glad this one's recorded. You made another comment before about the ownership structure, which clearly the affiant put on an affidavit that we're involved. So why would you be asking about that? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then when you're asking about someone, if they have an architect, how insulting I think it's horrible, Commissioner. Sorry, just gonna be honest. I came here respectful.
My intent was never to insult.
Well, it was insulting. I'm glad it's recorded. Yeah, thank you.
Are you done?
Sure is.
Excuse me.
She's done. She sure is done.
If we're talking about this.
Rude. No, that was disrespectful. To ask if someone has an architect?
Could you ask the applicant?
I will, sir, I will, sir, I will. If I could ask you, I think we're, crossroads where.
Let's just vote on the table and let me move forward.
Let's not make a motion to dismiss this project.
Go ahead. Go do it.
I'd like to make a motion to dismiss this project.
No, I think.
There's a motion on the floor.
Motion. Does anyone second?
Do I have a second? There's a motion. Do I have a second? All right, it's fair. Now we'll continue on.
I'm mad. Because I know there's been interference and there's been things that I've been uncomfortable with that are going on.
All right,
That I'm not happy with.
you can sit and allow us to finish off this business so we can all go home. Commissioner Long, it's back.
Thank you. Does anyone else on the commission wish to speak to the case?
I would like to speak to the case. The first time you came through, for folks that were not here, there were a couple of other things that weren't mentioned because of changes that were made. Speak to
If I may, changes were made to this building, not dramatic.
changes, but there was
We're gonna have a community space there that wasn't mentioned.
that
Part of that space, we had to discuss it about so we could sit and talk to the owners there, there was a lot of conversation. So we're gonna maintain roads to talk to folks in the community to make sure that what they were was not interfering potentially with other local businesses that come up. There was also a project that was also to the community as well. So some aspects of this that I felt lent itself well to planning, and there are aspects of it that the community may be aware.
If I can speak for folks that speak after about the historical nature of Oak Street and how it used to be the trolley park network that actually
Down
to East Market, which is why it ended at East Market. This was a dense corridor. Folks have talked about the historic nature of our neighborhood and how it used to be more dense and how that has changed. We talked about green space and the applicant actually included and how there was actually shared green space just down the street that plenty of folks in the neighborhood used to walk their dogs to the dog park. It's a meeting location. I understand this space did not previously have green space. That was changed. I say all of that to say there have been changes to the project that may have not allowed
Bolton housing had to be explained today.
and now things have got to a point where I think we're losing out on the explanation.
Regardless,
As the sergeant at arms, I feel that although things were said, I would ask that you apologize to the commissioner for that.
Yeah, and I am sorry. I'm a nice person. Mr. Commissioner, I like you. Can I show you the plans? I want you to look at them. Because I mean, this thing still doesn't have architecture plans. What?
Sir, I understand.
So there they are. She has them. I mean, she actually. I've never heard someone say the name. What was the name? And I respect all of you. And, you know, and I was unanimously accepted in the start, but then there's an interference coming from some folks.
Yeah.
So if you could, Commissioner, are those architectural plans?
Those are plans, but there's no indication of who's doing the plans on the.
His name's Spencer. Do you want me to do?
Applicant, we don't need the name. That's actually not.
Yeah, it's an architect, it's Spencer. It's Spencer Buston. It's not a local architect. And I'm not gonna, I mean.
All right, Commissioner Lawrence.
All right, who in the community wishes to speak to this?
John.
Go for it.
Okay, Kevin McBeth. Let me begin by saying I am 100% satisfied with your vote, right? You guys tried to do a class job. You've obviously made the changes that address some of the concerns that we brought up at the start. So it really boils down, in my opinion, to two questions. The first question is this structure of a scale that is appropriate for the neighborhood? It could represent the camel's nose in the tent. Well, the camel's nose is already in the tent at the corner of 18th and Oak Street and at the corner of whatever it is. Yeah, Kelton and Oak Street. So do we want to let the rest of the camel wander up and down Oak Street? That's the question. Secondary to that is the issue that is sort of, we keep coming back to that on the question of parking. And I know it was a surprise to you. There is no parking on Wilson Street except at one spot next to the telephone pole at the end. So that's off limits as far as parking goes. We've got what would appear to be, I think, the standard parking space is 20 feet. So you got room for 6 parking spots in front on the north side of Oak Street. And whatever happens across Oak Street with construction there, at this time, there are 6 spaces available there. They may go away depending on what happens to that development. In my opinion, given the shuffle that I see as a retired resident across the street, of cars constantly jockeying for position, it's a problem for the neighborhood to inject that many more vehicles into that corner. The question about the height of the parking garage, possibly lowering in order to reduce the overall size of the structure, I think that's a really good idea. You should take a look at that, because if you're worried about staging commercial vehicles to feed the commercial space at the corner there, the open parking space is perfectly.
So, Mr. McFadden, I appreciate your comments very much. I'm taking them all into consideration. And Mr. McFadden, the things that we thought it was 74 feet when it was 62. So
Yeah, it's still 5 stories versus 3, and so that's the question, is 5. How many units are on the 5th floor?
The 5th floor, 4.
Do you really need the 4 extra units? Because I think you'd get rid of a lot of opposition if you break it down one story.
Right.
But anyway, that's all I have to say.
I hear you, it's not so much that I want to cut that off, but we don't do this as a back and forth between the applicant and who else in the community wants to speak? Yes.
Jeff Tomey, speaking as a resident, as a architect here today, but one thing I wanted to say.
Your Connect Realty? You're on?
Cool. So one thing I wanted to do is I was actually going to speak in favor of your project here today. I do think you should reconsider representing yourself at these meetings from a level of professionalism.
No, you weren't, because you were going your fist like this when they were making comments.
Sir,
No, you weren't.
It's not your turn to speak.
Go ahead.
You need to be recognized
Go
by.
ahead.
I'm going to pretend you're not here. I'm going to give the comments based on the merits of the project.
Okay.
Bob, I would love if, sorry, Commissioner Rice, I would love if, for the record, you would document the letters that were in support and that were not in support as a town. I do know that there were a large number of letters actually received in support. I think that was glossed over from Old Town's residents, because I personally asked them to write them. So again, before this representation, I wanted to talk about the projects. I thought it was wonderful, and I wanted to talk about the merits of it. Old Town East Clearing Side is not someone who says, hey, I've got mine, I'm going to close the door behind me, and everyone else be down. So I think it's great that we are always welcoming of others and welcoming of diversity, and that means not just single family homes, but it means apartments and townhouses. So I think this apartment project would be awesome. In order to support affordable housing, we need to support housing abundance. So even though it may seem like there are more units maybe than the site would typically have, I know that affordable housing is something that all of us, especially commissioners, hold dear to their heart. So having abundance does help further that cause. The architecture was incredibly attractive in my opinion, and I thought it also reflected the historic brick construction of the neighborhood. So Old Town East has the East Market right down the street. This is a very similar flavor, and I thought it did a great job of blending in with the character of the area. And what might honestly probably would have been there when there was a streetcar down Old Street before those commercial buildings were demolished. Finally, also the project isn't really that large. So if you were breaking them down into kind of separate building chunks on the parcels, the apartment building itself seems to have only units in the teens. So it's really not that big of a building. I know we're thinking of it in our heads similar to 18th and Oak, which I think had 200 units. And the way that it's present, or maybe not, Rose Striking you said, maybe it's 100, but it's present, sure. Its presence on the site is certainly more significant. I think now that it's there, we can all say that it really doesn't impede the value that we have in our neighborhood. In fact, there's really great neighbors in there. I see them walking their dogs, picking up garbage, just the same as the rest of us. And then finally, I think that the traffic generated by the parcel is actually less than if somebody developed it what it's currently zoned for, which is C4. So if it was remaining C4 and had a commercial use there with the commercial parking lot, people were pulling in and out constantly. That's kind of less than housing.
All right, thank you for your comments, that's helpful. Anyone else wish to speak? Yes, sir. Say your name, please.
Yeah, Trevor Flickinger. I wrote into the planning commission and zoning commission. I am in favor of the project. I don't have like the planning background or the zoning background as some of y'all, so I can't speak to like any of those specifics. What I can speak to as a renter of Old Town East and someone that works for a nonprofit and affordable housing. We desperately need housing. We're in a housing crisis, all units, especially in a central neighborhood like this, that's close to downtown, it's close to bus lines, it's along the historic corridor, like you said, where a streetcar was literally down Oak Street. Now it's a bicycle boulevard. If you walk down the street, or if you drive along the street, you'll see lots of folks biking. I bike here myself, so I'm heavily in support of it. I think we need all the housing we can get. And I think it's in a great location to support that transit-oriented development.
Thanks for your comments. Last chance for anyone. All right. Yes.
I don't think the project is, I know just my opinion, throwing out opinion, comment, or whatever. I don't think the project is that large, because I know the Frisbee building over here, I think it's a good idea that, you're able to go under the garage, cause at the Frisbee, you can't get the U-Haul, the smallest U-Haul, you can't get under there. And it is a struggle trying to get your furniture into this building. So I think that might be, you should leave that height, but maybe take that top floor off, that can not be needed. I'm not really sure, but I really wanted to know if it was 1 bedroom, rooms, 2 bedrooms. I didn't get that far.
What's the unit composition?
Great question. So we actually reduced it, there was 15 apartment units, now 4 1-bedrooms, and the rest are 2, and every single town is 2.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Clarifying. All right, so it's from what you said at the beginning of the meeting, you indicated an interest in not taking this to a vote tonight, and so that, I don't think we need to vote on that. The applicant can voluntarily ask for the matter to be tabled, and we look forward to your getting together with Otina and coming back next month.
When is the next Otina meeting, if I could?
Yep.
May 13th at 7 p.m. in the Grand.
And then, so the meeting that would be for this same meeting for May would be, is it the second Thursday?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It would be the very next night is the
Right.
general body meeting.
You're gonna have.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, cool. All right, she left. I think that, right, yeah.
I'm gonna go, I'm gonna come back.
No, sorry. Just to clarify the table. I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Commissioner Lawson, does this conclude your report?
It does, on the agenda, it mistakenly states 543 Taylor, which was withdrawn by the applicant. They no longer need variances, they may deal with the city. Yeah, so it's gone, it's off the agenda.
All right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, see the community engagement report for future, yes, go ahead.
A previous member of the Near East Area Commission, Mika Kane, joined CEC as a graduate student at MIT Department of Urban Studies and Planning. She presented her innovative work focused on creating civic virtual power plants, VPP, in New York. Her work focused on piloting community-owned, affordable, net zero energy solutions, waiting to hear confirmation from a speaker to be determined, and we'll share once it's done. Yes.
So I read that and I thought, this sounds like something everyone should hear about, rather than it just being sort of within the little silo of community engagement committee. I'm not. Saying, sometimes you have information sharing about stuff that's fairly well known, but I'd love to hear what that is all about. Is that
Certainly, we can see if we can schedule her for a general body.
you could do that, or at least produce, if there's like a report or something that we can, you know, if we don't want to schedule, it's up to the chair whether to schedule.
It was also recorded, virtually, so it is on our YouTube, if you would like to see the presentation.
And she,
Well,
So
because
she said she had to check this meeting.
So I haven't said that yet because I don't know that we have permission yet to do that.
so if she comes back to the event, I think she should be allotted time right here, cause it was lengthy, very lengthy.
It's available for review on the
If
YouTube.
it is a technology that can be made widely available to people, it's something we should know about more broadly. As opposed to being a niche thing that, you know, isn't really gonna affect a lot of people.
Does that conclude community engagement?
That does.
Awesome, thank you. All right, there are no special committee reports, treasurer's report, Commissioner Benson.
Okay, I'll keep it quick. We got $157.15 left in the bank that has not been spent. What Mr. Ovalle advised.
I'm in agreement, and I'd like for you all to comment on is we can earmark the dollars to be spent before our account essentially, like, our fiscal, if I understand, our fiscal term comes to an end, the end of this month of May, and so if we don't spend those dollars, we wouldn't be able to spend those dollars, but if we earmark that money now, or in the short future, we can go ahead and spend that money as we see fit before we get our allotment of money coming May 31st. Mr. Lyle, May 1st.
Yeah, so last month, we already said we were spending that money.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was a little left after. I apologize.
No, you're good. Yeah, so, the city will allow us to print, business cards and also door hangers. So we don't have to spend down the money on those print items, but we can, spend money on yard signs and a table covering. Already have that in my cart. Mr. Ovalle has a P card. I'll pay for that tonight. It comes down to about $150 flat. So there it is. So we might be giving back just a couple dollars unless I'm making some tens or something. All right. Does that conclude?
That's my treasurer's report. Sorry about the confusion.
Oh, no, you're good. When it comes to old business, there is, okay, so the dates of the community district meetings, those are going onto the back of the door hangers, and since the city can print those, I guess there's not a huge rush, to get, I don't want to say to get the dates solidified, but I did reach out to a couple of districts just to confirm the locations of their meetings and so forth. I think it's District 4, actually. You all have a district meeting this month, on the 18th, since the community. 21st. So that's the upcoming district meeting for District 4. Commissioner Lowenstein and I were talking, since we decided to go on recess in July this year, had made a proposal for us to do the neighborhood walking tour on July 9th, which would fall on the original date of our general body meeting. At 5:30, and so I know Commissioner Lowenstein wants to bring that up just to see if there are any.
Yeah, are there concerns about about meeting in July, given that we said it would be our recess month, but it's sort of an extra meeting. It's not like a normal meeting. And for those of you who weren't on the commission last year, it's a walking tour where, it's not all walking. I mean, you drive to the sites and then walk, but it's an activity sort of interesting and going to look at some of the projects that we did review that got built. And it's a way of looking at, oh, here's something that we reviewed and what do we like and not like about this in terms of, and how does it affect sort of our sense of where do we go from here and, principles. And it was well received last year. So we wanted to do it one more time, go to some different properties. And so, the chair is suggesting July 9th, and I just wanted to make sure before we make that official that people aren't gonna go, hey, I thought we were doing nothing in July, so you're open to it.
Yeah, it's optional, and you're not forced to come, but I'm just saying.
Mr. Lozzi, I would suggest, if you can, go to one of our more controversial sites, so we can see what is actually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we started out last time going to a property that everyone liked, and I knew everyone liked it. And so we could start on a positive note of looking at it and saying, what's good about this? Why did we like that? And then we looked at some things that we didn't like as much. How does this compare? What is it we don't like about this one or two? And honestly, people have a variety of opinions, pro and con about things, but it created a pretty lively little discussion. But I hear you. I got a couple in mind already, believe me. Yeah.
Awesome. I want to thank Commissioner Thompson for taking some time out to design those door hangers and the yard sign as well. That was the middle design door hanger, and then she sent me a text. I approve. But we were able to tag team and get that completed. Okay, given that there's the last thing, when it comes to how we move into this next month of May, we're almost half through the year. We are starting to pick up in our meeting schedules when it comes to being community facing and things like that. So if there are community festivals and things like that, that we do need to have some form of presence, that please let's be cognizant of those so that we're not arresting to show any support for things like that. And then also elections. We have to begin preparing for elections as well. And so I will be calling on a few of you to see if any of you would like to serve on that elections committee. Requirement for serving on that committee is that you cannot be running for election. So if your terms are expiring and you are seeking re-election, you cannot serve on that committee. But it's a very, I want to say it's a low lift, but it's when done right, it's a smooth process. It's a smooth process, and it wouldn't be burdensome. So that's what we will talk about here next month in May. The last thing is I did receive an email from Commissioner Wilbur, really petitioning for him not to be removed from the commission tonight. I'm just going to read you his email, and I really don't want to put this up for a vote tonight, but I'm just going to read you his email out of transparency. Chair Harris, I cannot make the meeting tonight as I've had a flight delayed, which will impact when I make it back to Columbus. As such, I want to address that this is what I believe to be my third general body. I've not been able to attend this year. I remain committed to attending these meetings in the future. The bylaws from my last reading states commission who misses more than 1/3 of the general body meetings or more than 1/3 of the meetings for the standing committee to which they are assigned for the calendar year is subject to removal for dereliction of duty.
My reading is Commissioner is subject to, will not automatically remove after reaching the one-third threshold. Additional one-third
Units would be
means
3.33333. If there are 10 general bylaws per year and 3.66666 if there are 11. My argument is that I have not reached the one-third threshold. Happy to discuss further if needed. Hope you're well. Let me know if there's any additional you need from me. In the meantime, thanks. Keep Wilbur 740-817-3761. That was easy. I received, and so, normally in the past, when someone does reach that, I really want to say it's his fourth general body. I have not seen Keith since January.
it's January, it's issued.
Oh, so yeah, I guess February, March, now we're in April, so 3.3333.
Yeah, he won that.
But, I won't, do we have any comments regarding what Mr. Commissioner Wilbur said tonight?
I'm always one to blame grace.
Yeah, and I'm, after that, Keith Wilbur.
I happen to have lunch with him, mostly we were talking about something else, because we're sort of in the same business. And he brought this up and he expressed his desire to stay on. I think if he misses another one, I think he tries to be out.
So as the other District 3, I'm very torn. It's hard to find people to fill vacancies, so, and I don't want our district to not be appropriately represented. But I will offer that his absence from the meetings isn't the only absence in group conversations amongst all of the District 3 commissioners. He never responds to emails, doesn't weigh in on anything. We're kind of just doing things hoping that he comes in the end.
Yeah. So what I'll do on my end is to do some, I'll continue to talk to him and hopefully, empower him to be a little bit more involved, within the district and so forth. I understand the expertise and so forth he brings to the commission overall, but, his contributions.
He works in
He's well versed.
He's in the affordable housing business, and he's looking to change jobs and stuff, but he's
It's all.
sorry. I don't, none of that's really relevant though, whether he participates in the commission. I'm just letting you know that's why I met with him. He's talking to me about opportunities going forward for him in that work, but he did sound kind of eager to stay on the commission.
I guess what my question, let me rephrase. So I had to go to our website to figure out who was discussing, right? So I know I realize I'm a newer commissioner, and so I don't know that I've ever seen this man maybe one good time. And that's why I'm asking, what has his contribution to the commission been? Not the community, not his employment. And if you're saying we're not responding to emails, we're not having discussion, we're not weighing in, I don't know. If we're dead weight, we're dead weight, and there's no benefit to the district, let alone for the commission. So I don't know why we're.
He attended several meetings.
If I may finish, I'm sorry.
No, I apologize.
I don't know why we're still weighing the notion of if we should maintain his position. If he himself is not maintaining his position, he's not presently here.
As chair of the planning committee, he is a member of the committee, and he does bring a unique perspective to some of our discussions, given his employment. And I will tell you that one meeting he did miss, I think was February, he had a big car accident. I mean, there are some reasons that I understand, others that I don't. But he's had some.
So he's actively engaged in planning is what you're saying? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. So I will work on that and the last thing is when we do have, upcoming meetings and things like that, please consult with Commissioner Thompson and Vice Chair Francisco when it comes to any social media related graphic needs that you might have. They're well versed and, ready to go on social media, committee. They're very active, too, on our social media accounts as well. So, yes.
In regards to our social media, listen, I need everyone, please don't, I need everyone to actively engage in our social media, right? We are going to be shouting you all out. Please, if there's anything going on with you at work or what have you, any promotions or any, things, we want to congratulate you all. We want to love on our commissioners and celebrate your wins. So please share, comment, and engage.
I will say that was super nice that you guys did that. I really appreciate it.
Certainly, it is our pleasure.
All right, given that are there any additional comments from the commission? Seeing that there are none, it's 8:47, call for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So
All those in favor? All right, very good, thanks.